But as far as being a soccer player, what would you say is your strongest part of your game, and the other part you may need to work on a little bit?
I'd say my strongest part is honestly creating space on the field, and something I need to work on. Probably my finishing is not the greatest, but it's strong, but it can be better, honestly.
So when you say finishing, what do you mean by finishing?
By finishing, I mean just getting the ball in the net, creating shot opportunities.
Okay.
But when you're, in the heat of the battle, as they say, meaning, running up and down the field, are you one of those players that you see opportunities where other people don't see them? Meaning, maybe one of your teammates is open and you see it out the corner of your eye and you look in the opposite direction?
Yeah, I'd say I can do that too. And I'd point it out to someone who has the ball. And if I don't have the ball and they have the ball and I see that person, I tell them to give them the ball. And honestly, it would just create motion and create that fluidity.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, there are some people I've met who have actually been that good where everything is moving real fast, but to them it's kind of like slow motion to a certain degree because they'll see other things that, other players around them just don't see. So that's definitely a great gift to have.
Yeah, it's kind of like telegraphing the whole field, and you can just like dissect it, and you see things right there, and you can see like almost see where that person is going to go, where the defensive player is going to be, and stuff like that. So that's a good what they call that, sports IQ, whatever the case, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something along those lines. I can't think of the exact terminology for it, but it's definitely along those lines.
All right, so this is one of the biggest things in sports. Sports can be very, very, very emotional. Win, lose, get hurt, whatever the case may be. Tell us one time. Give us some examples of some times where your emotions hit you. Because for me, I can tell you like this: when we was in Germany. And like our track team, we was pretty good. We was good. We got all the way to Berlin, and on this track meet, I think not yeah, we was doing I got put on the 4x, not the 4x. It was the medley relay, and that was. You had a person run the 100, you had a person run the 200, you had a person run the 400, and you had a person run the 800. I got pulled off and somebody else got put in. And what hurt me so bad about that was the person that they replaced me with was an 800 runner. And he had just ran his race not too long before that, and he ran out of gas, and I'm on the sideline, and I could feel my insides crying. Like, it was that bad. So tell us about some times when you experienced that.
I'd say one that like hurt me was when I got my concussion last year. Mm-hmm. And so I was playing soccer and club. And I was running track at the same time, and when I got the concussion, it was right before we had our, I think it was either county or state meet. And so that really hurt me. And I wasn't able to run for counties that year. And it also cut my soccer season short. And I was out. That happened in April. And I wasn't able to do anything till late August, late September. So that really hurt me. Emotionally and physically. And I'd say this year, something that really made me feel good was when we beat our school rivals, and I had the game-winning goal. Honestly, it just felt so much joy. It was a great moment for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So we know that soccer is very much a team sport. Can you tell us about a time that you felt like maybe your teammates or one of your teammates could have did something a little bit more, meaning like they put just enough effort in, but if they would have put more effort in, they perhaps could have, changed the outcome of a game. And you don't have to mention any names, but, we just trying to get a feel for when you're playing a team sport like that. We always have times where we felt like, I know for me with basketball, like I had some teammates like, dude, you really could have put more effort into that.
Yeah, honestly, I think everybody has those kind of moments. I've had those moments where I feel like I could have done more to change this outcome. Probably during a game, we was a fast break, I guess I call it. And we were going up the field, and I had an open lane straight to goal. And my teammate, he held the ball longer. He ended up turning it over, and that was the end of the game. That could have been. I either could have tied that game up, or we could have won that game off that play. And so that didn't happen, and it kind of made me frustrated. And I've had moments where I've held the ball too long, or I've made a poor decision and led to a bad outcome.
Yeah, I mean,
I definitely can agree with that.
The good thing about that is that you take accountability for the times where you kind of slacked off a little bit, or could have made a better decision or a better play, or whatever the case may be. That's a great mindset to have when it comes to sports, because some people feel like they are the team, but something like soccer is definitely a team sport. I mean, I've been going to his games, and I look at it on that field, and I'd be like, there's no way I would do that. There's no way. I'm at the point where I'm only running if I have to. That's the extent of my running these days. Back then, I was young, I was fit like him. I was getting it. But you talked about your concussion, and I can understand that is like heartbreaking. It's depressing. It's it's all of those things, because it's like, one, you feel like you let yourself down. And then the other thing is like, you feel like you let your team down. And then you have to balance, well, it's not my fault. I can't control this because